Several of his co-workers were, and he'd just come from a dinner with some clients. Someone must have been smoking there, or on the way back to the office. "Sorry I'm late," I said. He smiled and kissed me lightly. "You're always worth the wait." Another kiss, then he made an after-you gesture, and we went into the bar. It was well after 9 on a weekday, but the place was packed. Still, we managed to find a booth near the back, far away from the jukebox that was so loud it rattled my fillings. "Your turn to get drinks," he said as he took a seat. "You getting your usual?" He nodded, and I headed for the bar. The service was, as always, slow as hell, but someone eventually took my money in exchange for a couple of beers. With drinks in hand, I returned to the booth. "So, how was the dinner?" I asked. "Dinner?" He gave me a puzzled look as he took a long drink of his beer, then seemed to suddenly jump to life, as if he'd forgotten where he'd spent the earlier part of the evening. "Oh, right, that." He made a dismissive gesture. "Just an extended workday with the addition of some overpriced food." I laughed. "Overpriced food on someone else's dime." Grinning, he said, "That's about the only reason it's worth going to those things." He took another quick sip. "Did you get hung up at work again?" I scowled and nodded. Fucking projector in the middle auditorium keeps breaking down. Doesn't anyone else there know how to fix it? "Dylan thinks he does," I said, "but he always manages to make it worse." "Good point," he said. "I'd be afraid to let that man near a jammed stapler." I chuckled just before touching my beer bottle to my lips. "Funny you should mention that." His eyebrows jumped. "Why?" Setting the bottle down, I said, "He almost had to have stitches a week or so ago after arguing with a jammed stapler." Jake laughed and put his hands up, shaking his head. "I don't even want to know. How the hell do you work with someone like that?" "Could be worse," I shrugged. "Anyway, I got the damn thing fixed, so I didn't have to stay too late this time." "Glad you made it." He rested his elbows on the table and leaned toward me. "I've been needing this all week." I shivered. "You're not the only one." He grinned and sipped his beer, making sure I noticed when he ran his tongue around the mouth of the bottle. I swallowed hard, and he laughed. Reaching across the table, he let his fingertip drift across the side of my hand. "What time do you work tomorrow?" I barely kept from shivering again. It may have been a benign question from anyone else, but not from Jake. What time do you work tomorrow was Jake speak for, it's going to be a long, long night. Wetting my lips, and noting with satisfaction the way his breath caught, I said, "Not until noon." His grin broadened, and his eyes narrowed. His beer bottle stopped just shy of his lips, and he said, "Good. You'll have time for a couple hours of sleep." Knowing Jake, that wasn't much of an exaggeration. I took a long drink, needing the beer to cool me down. Thanks to scheduling conflicts at both of our jobs, it had been nearly a week since we'd spent a night together. I needed this so bad I could taste it. "I think I'm ready for another round," he said, setting his empty beer bottle on the table. I drained the last of mine. "Make it 2. He slid out of the booth and walked past me, gently squeezing my shoulder as he went by. After almost half a year together, we still spent just as much time in the bedroom as we had in the beginning. The sex was just too damn good, and showed no signs of tapering off. Lately, though, we'd spent more time together outside of the bedroom as well. Maybe that was promising. Maybe we were moving in some direction or another. I wasn't in a hurry either way, but I took this as a good sign. I didn't know where this would be tomorrow, but at least I knew where I'd be tonight. And after the last few days, I needed to get laid yesterday. Resting my elbows on the table, I let my head fall forward and rubbed the back of my